Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video we're going to show you how to change out the Samsung refrigerator door hinge. It's going to be a very easy repair and it's only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the new door hinge. The door hinge is what the lower part of the refrigerator door rides on. The manager should be changing it out if it's damaged and the door is not opening and closing properly. In order to change the part, we're going to open up both doors. Now that we have the doors open, we have to remove this cover that covers the upper hinges. So we're going to take a small flathead screwdriver and remove these smaller covers. You just have to carefully get the screwdriver in there, and then we can pop the cover off. Once you have it off, you can set it aside. The one on the other side comes off the same way. Once you have both covers off, we can go up to the top of the refrigerator. Now that we're up top, we're going to use the Phillips screwdriver to take out the 3 screws that hold the cover on. Once you have all the screws out, you can lift this cover off, turn it over. Once you have the cover out of the way, we can use the Phillips screwdriver to take out the ground screw. And then we have this wire. Ours isn't plugged in. If your model has a wiring harness that goes to this, you're going to have to disconnect it so we can take the door off. We're just going to use a ratchet with an extension and a 10mm socket. Take out the screws that hold the hinge on. As you're taking out the last screw, you want to make sure you hold the hinge in the door so they don't fall. Once you have it loose, you can just unscrew it by hand. And we're just going to lift the hinge out. Then we can step down and lift the door off the lower hinge. Once you have the door off the hinge, you can set it aside. Now we're down here at the bottom. We have access to the door hinge. We're going to use the Phillips screwdriver to take out the screw. Once you have the screw out, we're going to open up the freezer door just a little bit. Then we can use a 5mm Allen wrench to take out the screws. There is a spacer on the back of the door hinge, so you want to peel that off and leave it with the fridge so we can put it on with the new one. Once you have the spacer off, you can pull the door hinge off the refrigerator. Here's the old door hinge next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. Looks like they redesigned it, but it'll go in and work just fine. To put the new door hinge on, we're just going to set the spacer on. Once you have it lined up, you can turn it over and put it on the door. We can grab the 5mm Allen wrench and put in the screws. We're not going to tighten this one down all the way. We're just going to get it started in case we have to move the spacer around to get the other screws started. Once you have them both in, then we can tighten them both down with the 5mm Allen wrench. Then we can use the Phillips screwdriver to put in the last screw. Once you have that tightened down, we can close the freezer door, and then we can put the refrigerator door on the new hinge. Once you have it set on the pin, you can go up top and put the upper hinge on. Now we're going to set the hinge in place. All you have to do is lift it up, and you want to make sure if you have the wiring harness that it goes through the hinge. Once you have it into the door, then we can line it up on the frame. And then we can use the ratchet with the extension and the 10mm socket to put the bolts back in. We're not going to tighten that one down. Just going to leave it loose so we can get the other two started in case we have to move the hinge around to get the holes to line up. Once you have them all started, we can use the ratchet to tighten them down. Once you have it tightened down, we can use the Phillips screwdriver to put the ground screw back in. If your model has the wiring harness that goes with this wiring harness, you can just plug it back in. If not, you want to stick it underneath there so it's underneath the cover. Then we can put the cover back on. All you have to do is lift it up and rotate it over. Make sure it goes over the hinges. Once you have it in place, we can use the Phillips screwdriver to put in the screws. Once you have the cover on, we can go back down. Now we can put the covers on. All you have to do is line them up. There's a little arrow right here. You want to make sure that's pointing down. You can snap it into place. Once you have this one on, we can do the other side. Once you have them both snapped in, we can close the refrigerator doors, plug it back in, and make sure it starts to cool. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.